Today, are we digitally ready? This is a question that teachers and learners are probably asking right now. With the advent of DepEd's Digital Rise program, the Open Educational Resources, or OER, was woven together and finally realized. This project prioritizes the necessity to enhance the digital literacy skills of every teacher and learner in the country. Our OER mission is to connect the disconnected. OER is indeed an innovative initiative with a lofty aim to get disconnected schools and last-mile schools connected through ICT even without an internet connection.
It is designed to cater to the need of these schools for interactivity, digitalization, and delivery of 21st century skills that will ensure that every learner is future ready. Join us in another training workshop and learn more about open educational resources, whose primary purpose is to provide support and assistance to learners and teachers in this rapid advancement of technology. Our goal is to build and strengthen the capabilities of public and private teachers, school heads, and supervisors by teaching you to create and design interactive, localized, and contextualized instructional materials for teaching using basic, advanced, and proficiency software and tools. Surely, this will be another exciting and engaging webinar training workshop. Together, let's all rise amidst this crisis. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, para sa guro. Sulong edukalidad!
Magandang araw, Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETUlay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETUlay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng ICT's Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del B. Pascua. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na pivot ang ginagamit sa ating ETUlay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
Alright, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Ako po si Tutor Chester and welcome po to our ETUlay online tutorial for the subject reading and writing. Kasama niyo po si Tutor Chester. However, ang inyo po talagang tutor ay si Sir Jess Lechido. Makakasama niyo po ako from 4:40 until 5:20 ng hapon. And we are live and loud from the different Facebook and YouTube account of the Department of Education. Watching po from Guzman, watching from Antonio, Serapio Elementary School, SDO Valenzuela City, it's Christy Regalado. All are welcome po dito sa ating ETUlay online tutorial for the senior high school reading and writing. But specifically, this subject intends for sa ating senior high school reading and writing subject. Listening and watching from SDO Mabalacat City, watching and learning Tuesday English, that's from Sir Meal, Mark Edward A. Lugtu. All right, so reading and writing skills. We are on the Q3, Week 6 for senior high school. I would like to acknowledge, of course, ang ating Pivot 4A, para sa ating ginagamit na module. Ayan, salamat po sa development team ng ating Pivot 4A for letting us use our module for this afternoon. Okay. All right. So, as I have said, our topic has something to do with the explicit and implicit claims in written text o yung pag-aangkin ika nga, no? Yung mga facts. Lesson 2, claim of policy particularly. Yan. Now, after going through this lesson, we are expected to first identify claims explicitly or implicitly made in a written text. And you are to determine the key elements of explicit and implicit claims. Um, hmm, and the third one, you are to differentiate claim of fact, claim of policy, and claim of value from each other. And the fourth one, you are to identify claims of fact, policy, and value presented in written text. So you will apply all of this later on. Okay, what I need to know. The module 3 is divided into 3 lessons. These are the lesson 1, the claim of fact, lesson 2, kung meron tayong claim of fact, we also have this claim of policy, and lesson 3, the claim of value. Altogether, senior high school learners, we got lesson 1, claim of fact, lesson 2, claim of policy, and the lesson 3 is claim of value, fact, policy, and value. Watching from Lanao del Norte Comprehensive High School, Lanao del Norte, we got Ma'am Alma Lacostales Calibo. Good afternoon po. Okay. What's in explicit and implicit claims in written text? Now, what is an explicit claim? An explicit claim is directly and clearly stated in the text. It is when you can easily point out the information in the passage. So, mas madali daw nating malalaman o makikita, mapo-point out ang mga information kapag tinatawag natin itong explicit na claim. However, dear learners, pag implicit claim naman, it is indirectly expressed in the text, and you need to look for clues. So kung kanina, at once makikita natin, ay ito pala yung ating hinahanap. However, kapag implicit claim naman, still, there is somewhat lacking. Pero yung lacking na yun, nandun na din naman. So we are looking for clues or make inferences to understand its meaning. So parang we are looking beyond a certain claim, a certain statement for us to distinguish yung ating hinahanap talaga. Watching from CPES Bulacan, si Penmar Lumitaw. Good afternoon. Pwede nyo itong i-share ha, mga learners sa ating mga, sa iba't ibang learners pa rin, sa ating mga GCs or whatsoever, para mas madaming ma-reach ang ating learning this afternoon. Okay? What's your prior knowledge? Ano ba yung ating alam na sa isang topic na ito? Did you know? Yung mga facts natin, pwede natin siyang ilagay, pwede natin siyang mai-apply. Claim. Claim of fact. Now, claims are synonymous to belief, argument, assertion, or yung stand or yung ating pananaw. Ano? Yun nga, sinabi natin kapag sinabi natin claim, it has something to do with the statement. And specifically and particularly kapag stand, ito yung ating pananaw, or not only the pananaw itself, but also kung ano yung ating nasa sa isip, anong gusto nating sabihin, that's it. Okay. Claim of fact is a statement that reports and even describes and predicts. It also makes causal claims or whether something is whether something is real or fact. Okay. Now, we have here an activity. Directions. You are to put a check mark if the statement is a claim of fact. And you are to put a cross mark naman if it is not doon sa ating na ilagay na space. So, kung wala naman tayo nakitang space, meron totally malaking space, meron naman tayo ditong kahit papaano merong space pa rin dyan, and we will accept it. Watching from Santa Fe District, Sinida Bong T1 Fernandez, Tom or Tampok, maraming salamat po. Okay. Oh, sorry. The Department of Education shows its readiness on the new normal in the teaching and learning process. What do you think? Is it a check or a cross mark? Claim of fact ba yan? Check. And or not, or a cross mark. The Department of Education shows its readiness on the new normal in the teaching and learning process. It is indeed a check kasi nga our Department of Education, they are really doing its best para makacope up sa ating new normal way of education. Although may mga sinasabi nating may mga lapses or hindi natin nagugustuhan, still, ang ating kagawaran ay handa at talagang ready sa mga ganyang pagkakataon at they are really doing their best. Kami mga teachers, nagpupuyat para makagawa ng mga module. Kaya para ito sa inyong mga learners at sana magustuhan, not only magustuhan, but also talagang ma-appreciate ng ating mga magulang at ng ating mga mag-aaral. And for sure, nagugustuhan naman ng ating mga mag-aaral yung mga paghihirap na ginagawa ng ating mga teachers. And by that, maraming salamat po sa inyo. Watching from sino to? Si Jen Cabañas Morada. Thank you so much for appreciation. Check po, Teacher Jester. You are really correct. Mark Edward Lugto, maraming salamat for being a participative teacher, ha? Not a student, but a teacher. Kita natin yung eagerness, not only the students, but also the teachers. Number 2 po is X, according to Christy Regalado Vivas. Tingnan nga natin, curfew must be enforced by parents to their children. Ulit natin, curfew must be enforced by parents to their children. So according to Christy Regalado Vivas, it's an X mark. Let's reveal. Definitely for that, it's an X. Ano? So according to that, curfew daw must be enforced by parents to their children. So in my own view on that, so ito naman mga estudyante natin or specifically ang ating mga mag-aaral, although alam natin na bawal talaga lumabas, sumusunod naman talaga sila. Ano? And by that, maraming salamat sa pag-follow mga mag-aaral. Don't you worry, makakaahon din tayo, malalampasan din natin itong pandemya na ating kinakaharap. Thank you so much, Sir Edward Lugtu. And of course, watching from Claveria Rural and Vocational School, that's Linglingay Martinez Kilala Calaramo. Maraming salamat. Now, for number 3, vaping. Alam niyo na ba yung vaping, di ba? Vaping can have same side effects as smoking. What do you think? Is it an X or a check? Vaping can have same side effects as smoking. What do you think? For number 4, the closing of Philippine borders to tourists is one way to slow down the spread of COVID-19. So sa paniniwala natin, tingnan natin maya-maya. And number 5, doing videos in TikTok is more exciting than vlogging. Ayusin lang natin, ano, vlogging, ano, natapan lang. So for number 5, doing videos in TikTok is more exciting than vlogging. Okay, watching from SDP Pangasinan, Dinalawan Elementary School, 101430 Calasiao Cluster. Nakakatuwa, not only the senior high school but also yung ating mga elementary school students are learning this afternoon. So for number 3, vaping can have same side effects as smoking. What do you think? It's a check mark. For number 4, the closing of Philippine borders to tourists is one way to slow down the spread of COVID-19. And definitely that is right. So, kung yan talaga ang isa sa mga mabisa na way para ma-prevent natin yung pagdami, pag-spread pa ng COVID-19 is for us to close our borders sa iba't ibang mga bansa. Ano? Pero hindi naman natin ibig sabihin na may discrimination or what. Nag-iingat lamang naman talaga tayo. At talagang ang pag-iingat pa rin ang isa sa mga magandang pagkakataon or yung magandang gawin para malampasan natin itong pandemyang ito para hindi na lumala pa ang COVID-19. Maraming salamat to those who answered. It's Christy Regalado Vivas. Thank you so much. And for number 5, doing videos in TikTok is more exciting than vlogging. What do you think? Yung pag TikTok ay more exciting daw than YouTube blogging or Facebook blogging. What do you think? Is it a check or an X? For you learners, sige nga, I want to hear your answers now. Come on, don't be shy, don't hesitate to answer. Okay, SDO Pangasinan, ayan. SDO Pangasinan, Dalawan Elementary School, Kalasyaw Cluster 2. Thank you so much to Joanna Makadangdang. Ayan. Watching from Claveria Rural Vocational School. Thank you to Christy Vivas. Sa number 4 po ay X. Ayan. Sa number 5, ano kaya ang kasagutan? Ayan. Okay, so let's reveal the answer. Medyo hindi lang tumama, ano. Pero particularly for number 5, it's an X. Pwede naman both. Ano, kapag sinabi natin TikTok or vlogging, somewhat they are both exciting, di ba? Good afternoon, watching from SDO Aylaga Annex Santa Monica Elementary School. Wow. Uy, share mo naman to sa inyong mga kakilalang senior high school, Rosita Constantino Pacunayan. Okay? Share nyo po ito sa mga kakilala nating senior high school para ma-reach talaga yung ating mga intended learners sa senior high school. Thank you so much by that. Okay. All right, let's continue. Quarter 3, week 6, learning is fun. According to Sir Jess Lechido. Ayan, policy. Let's proceed with policy. Your policy folder. Ayan, lesson 2, claim of policy. What's in? What's in and what's out? Ano bang in? Okay. Claim is described as a debatable set of words or a concept that allows a source to influence the receiver for acceptance. It is equated to an opinion, idea, or a session. Let's repeat. Claim is described as a debatable set of words or a concept that allows the source to influence the receiver for acceptance. It is equated to an opinion, idea, or a session. This has something to do with opinion as well. So when we say claim on this note, parang we as excuse me, parang we as a speaker, we want our listener to be influenced eh. Ano? However, ito nga, it describes a debatable set of words. Pero kung ganun man, yung mga nais natin ipabatid has something to do with all of facts pa rin. May supported information pa rin. Watching from Southville 1 INHS, si Russell Capasio. Magandang hapon. Siya ay isang UMS student. Very good, ha, Russell? Kindly share this sa GC ninyo para mas maraming ma-reach ang ating mga lesson this afternoon. Watching from KCPS, Kinapawan City Division. Good job, anak. Uy, maraming salamat. Ako ba yung anak na tinutukoy or yung estudyante ni Ma'am Irish V. Kuray Lusan? Tuwang-tuwa si Ma'am Irish sa kanyang student. Claim has associated with words such as belief, argument, assertion, or even stand. It can be classified according to method and nature. Oy, one student from 11 Gas, Vince and San Buenaventura. Thank you so much, Bunso Vince, ha? Maraming salamat. Now, explicit claim and implicit. We'll try to figure out what's the difference between claim and implicit. Claim and explicit and the implicit claims are types of claim based on method. On the other hand, now, claim of fact, the claim of fact, claim of policy, and claim of value are types of claim. They are based on the nature, yung common na natin. What's new? So ano kaya yung word na makikita natin from this puzzle? What is the first word na makikita natin? Pwede namang hindi isang root word, ano? Specifically, we're looking for a 6-letter word. So what do you think is the word that we're looking for? Watching from Southville Integrated National High School, 11 HAB, si Charis Tolosa Panginen. Cristel Gastor po from HAA. Wow. Very good. And also, yeah, you got watching from Estrella Belia, Luz Elementary School, San Mateo South District. We got Cathy Peralta, si Ma'am Cathy pala ito. Can you share this naman, Ma'am Cathy, sa ating mga senior high school learners or sa inyong group chat ng mga principals para mas maraming ma-reach ng ating ETUlay online tutorial according to Linglingay Martinez, Kilala Calaramo. We're looking for the word action. Let's see if your answer is correct. Maya-maya lang, padamihin ko lang ang ating mga answers. Watching from, yeah, the result. I have seen a result. That's coming from James Cullian. Nakakita daw siya ng word na result. May nakita din naman ng action. Yeah, that's it. Definitely. You got it correctly. Yes, you got it, Russell. You got it, James. You were able to make it, Christy. The result and the action. However, nagkaroon lang tayo ng difficulty, hindi lang mag-appear. Pero, yes, you guys are right. It's result and action. We got from here, action, and from here, the result. Watching from Southville, it's Lovey Terezula. Salamat po. Okay, what is it? Okay. Claim of policy is the argument where action should be carried out. Basically, it is perceived as a relatively direct statement. So when we say claim of policy, ito po yung mga argument where action daw should be carried out, and specifically and basically direct statement. And 11 si Charlotte Palma, 11 TBLHE from Bailian National High School. Anong lugar ba ito? Jericho Haranilla, thank you so much. Lovey May Terazula, maraming salamat. And of course, yes, claim of policy can also be called the claim of solution because it suggests and supports policies and solutions. And the action to be taken is based on the result. Kapag may result, meron tayong naiisip na solution for it. Okay? Call it as claim of policy. You will know if a statement is a claim of policy if there is an action to be done or a solution to be taken up. Okay? Now let's analyze each statement below, yung mga remaining slides natin. Then answer the guide questions on a separate sheet. Sige nga, online senior high school learners, kindly or make sure that your paper, your ball pen ay nasa sa inyo. Kung wala, pwede pa kayong kumuha. And I will wait for you para yung learning na nakukuha natin dito, pwede kayo mag-jot down notes. Yan, si Mariel de la Cruz from 11 HEA, si de la Cruz Mariel, yun nga. From Balian National High School, si Jericho Haranilla. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for reaching out. And also, we have lots of online learners here. Now let's proceed with our activity. Let's proceed with number 1. Okay, ready na ba? Medyo napabilis yata si Sir Jester. Signa online still, if you still wanted to get a paper, pwede pa kayong kumuha. I'm still waiting for you. Mariel de la Cruz sa Balian National High School, Kalaisan School sa Kidapawan City Division. Good afternoon. Now, number 1, let's proceed na. Gender equality should be supported by every Filipino. Is there an action to be done by that statement? If yes, what is that action particularly? What type of claim kaya ang tawag dito? Let's try to figure out. Yes, there's an action to be done in that statement. Gender equality should be supported by every Filipino. Kasi nga, alam naman natin na even before, yung mga LGBT, they're longing for equality. But now, binibigay naman talaga natin sa kanila. Kasi nga, we Filipinos are one. Wala naman talaga maiiwan for us. If yes, what is the action? It should be supported. And particularly and specifically, dapat sinusuportahan. And kita naman natin yung ating gobyerno, sinusuportahan naman ang mga programs ng ating ng ibang mga gender na tinatawag natin. Watching from Leyte, si Josephine V. Mingo. Good afternoon po. Yes, according to Jazzy Ayapana, what type of claim is this? And that is what we call the claim of policy. Ay, salamat, learners, sa inyong pakikisa for reaching out to Sir Jester. Okay, let's proceed with the number 2, second one. The pandemic which the world is experiencing, or the universe rather, just kidding. The pandemic which the world is experiencing takes away lives. Thus, Filipinos are ought to stay at home. Now, question, Is there an action to be done? If yes, what is that action? What time of claim is this? So what do you think online? But she is still watching from SDO Lanao del Norte, SHS Department, si Ma'am Alma. Lepistalis Calibo, thank you so much to all the Almanatics for tuning in, for keeping in touch. Ma'am Alma, kindly um, share this video sa iyong mga estudyante na senior high school. Salamat, Ma'am Alma. Okay. Is there an action to be done on that statement? Yes. If yes, what is that action? Therefore, by that, because of that COVID-19, we need to stay at home. Paalala ng ating gobyerno, we need to stay at home fully. Huwag tayong pasaway. Kung hindi naman kailangan, kung wala naman tayong gagawin talaga sa labas, stay at home lang talaga. Okay? Para din naman sa atin yan. Huwag naman tagas ang ulo, senior high school learners. Mapapalo kayo ni Tutor Jester. At ni Tutor Jester, just kidding. So, stay at home is the action that should be done on that statement. What time of claim is this? According to Charlotte, it's claim of policy, and you got it right, Charlotte. You were able to make it. It's claim of policy. Palakpakan naman natin si Charlotte. Kahit siya isang senior high school student. Kasi nakita natin yung effort ninyo sa pagsagot na lamang dito. Maraming salamat by that. According to Russell Capasio, it's claim of policy. Wow, you were able to make it also. Maraming salamat. Let's proceed with the third one. Number 3, the Bayanihan to Heals One Act is implemented to fight COVID-19 crisis and therefore should be obeyed. Ulit natin. The Bayanihan to Heal Us One Act is implemented to fight COVID-19 crisis and therefore should be obeyed. So alam naman natin yung bayanihan, So yung pagtutulungan, di ba? But not, it's pagtutulungan. Pero pagdating sa mga employer, pagdating sa aming mga teachers, tuwan-tuwa kami kapag narinig namin may bayanihan act ulit na ipinatutupad ng ating gobyerno. Kasi nga, yung aming mga gastusin, mas mabibigyan namin ng, how do you call it, yung mga gastusin namin bilang isang sumusweldo sa isang government, sa government natin, binigyan nila ng importansya kasi nga naleles yung aming yung kaltas sa aming sweldo. And by that, maraming salamat sa ating gobyerno. Watching from Southville pa rin, sa Integrated National High School, si Katrina, maraming salamat sa inyo dyan sa Southville Integrated National High School. Talagang for sure, masayang-masaya ang inyong mga teachers. Ayan. Okay. Si Christy Regalado Vivas, good afternoon. So, is there an action to be done on this particular statement? Yes, of course. If yes, what is that action? It must be obeyed. Igalang natin, And what time of claim is this? It is indeed claim of policy. Good afternoon, Wina Atiliano. Salamat po. Good afternoon also to Janelle Mihangkas Tismo. Salamat po for keeping in touch with Sir or Tutor Jester. Okay. Number 4, spreading fake news in the midst of pandemic will not help at all. Hence, by all means, it should be stopped. According to this one, spreading fake news in the midst of pandemic will not help at all. Hence, by all means, it should be stopped. So, alam naman natin ang fake news, it is really spreaded, talagang madali mas-spread ng fake news nowadays. However, as an intelligent individual, alam dapat natin kung ano nga ba yung tunay at hindi tunay na balita. Sa media na tinatawag natin, we are not calling it as a fake news. Kung ito ay fake news, hindi ito talaga matatawag na news. So, false ang appropriate term for it, I guess. Kung hindi ako nagkakamali, yung turo sa atin ng isa sa kasamahan natin from Manila Bulletin na si Sir Mark Villaluna, naging guest natin sa English 9 ETUlay tutorial. Salamat po, Sir Mark Villaluna. Now, spreading fake news in the midst of pandemic will not help at all. Hence, by all means, it should be stopped. Is there an action to be done? Speaking of fake news, Yes, indeed, meron dapat. Yes, what is that action? It should be stopped. Kailangan talaga itong mahinto. What type of claim is this? It's a policy. And going back, let's emphasize, let's give a stress on this item, on this statement. Students, learners, o yung ating mga magulang or teachers, bago naman tayo mag-share ng ating mga nakikita sa ating Facebook wall, we need to verify that first, di ba? Alam naman natin yung ating mga sources, yung mga website natin, kung legitimate ba siya or not. Kindly try to analyze the source, yung website, kung ito ba yung usual na website na meron tayo. At kung hindi ito yung usual, may maling spelling, may maling dot, ay, hindi siya legitimate na news organization. Pwede naman tayo siguro dito magbigay ng mga legitimate na mga news organization. Ano? Meron tayong news.abscbn.com, GMA News, Manila Bulletin, mga Inquirer, yan, or marami pang iba na talagang legitimate na makakakuha tayo ng real and organic na balita. Absolutely yes. Should be stopped and clarified if it's true. Claim of policy that's coming from Vince San Buenaventura. Thank you so much, Vince, for keeping in touch. Number 5, frontliners save lives while sacrificing their own. Discrimination of this people should not be tolerated. Frontliners save lives while sacrificing their own. Discrimination of this people should not be tolerated. Is there an action to be done? If yes, what is that action? And what type of claim is this? Try to figure out. Yes po, meron din. And what specific action? It shouldn't be tolerated based from the article or sa statement na ating binasa. Nandoon naman talaga yon mismo. Dun sa claim na ating nakikita. In-expound lang ni Sir Jester yung iba't ibang mga statement kanina. Pero mostly kapag sinabi natin ganito, makikita na rin sa ating statement. And by that, action should not be tolerated. And for the third one, what type of claim? It is still a claim of policy. Thank you so much, Russell Capasio. Thank you po. Salamat. You are right also, Charlotte. Keep the palma. It's claim of policy. Maraming salamat. For sure, ang inyong mga teachers hindi nahihirapan ngayon kasi meron tayong mga ganitong ETUlay online tutorial. Now let's proceed with our next activity. Complete the sentence by writing down the letter of the correct word. Letter A, ito yung mga choices natin should, result, or letter B, result. C, intervention. D, comparison. E, discipline. F, problem. G, action. H, love. Ulit natin. A, should. B, result. C, intervention. D, comparison. E, discipline. And F, problem. And G, action. And H, love. Okay, let's proceed with number 1. Handa na ba? Pwede nyo muna kayong kumopya. Pwede nyo munang picturean or screenshot itong atin para makasabay kayo kay Tutor Jester and sa lahat ng ating mga online learners at this moment. Ayan, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready na? Okay. According to Christy, talagang may sagot na agad si Christy. Maraming salamat. Christy Regalado Vivas. Uy, baka mamaya senior high school, maging cutie of the week din kayo. Tingnan natin. Ayan. All right, number 1. Claim of policy is also called claim of solution because it proposes blank to solve the existing problem. What do you think is the answer for number 1? For number 1, what do you think is the answer? Claim of policy is also called claim of solution because it proposes blank to solve the existing problem. It's what? It's letter B, the result. Okay. You got it right, Russell Capasio. Maraming salamat. Tama ka dyan, Russell. Very good, Russell Capasio. Okay, number 2. Blank is the main element of claim policy. Blank is the main element of claim policy. According to Charlotte, number 2 is letter G. Tingnan natin kung tama nga ba. Sagot ni Charlotte. Is it action fully? Let's see. It's action. Very good, Wow, very good. You got it right. You got it right, Russell Capasio. Thank you so much. G, or the action, is the main element of claim policy. Third one, the suggested action is based on the identified blank. The suggested action is based on the identified blank. What do you think is the answer for number 3? Online, sige nga. Still waiting for your answers. Come on, don't hesitate. If you think your answer is wrong, okay lang yan. Okay lang yan. Wala namang masama kung magta-try tayo, di ba? Okay. According to James, letter F, let's see. James Akbangin, letter F po, number 3. Let's see, later on. Letter C po, intervention, according to Russell Capasio. Si Vince, may sagot na siya. So number 1, result daw. Action number 2 and 3, problem. Number 4 naman, according to Jericho Harnilla, it's should. According to Christy, number 3 po is letter F. Number 3 naman po, according to Charlotte, is letter D. Let's see. Let's try to figure out. And it's indeed letter F. You are right, Christy Regalado Vivas. It's the problem. The suggested action is based on the identified problem. You got it right, James Akbangin. Salamat sa pakikisa kay Tutor Jester and to all our ETUlay tutorials. Okay, let's proceed with number 4. I have revealed already the answer, and that is the should, ought, must, and should can be directly or indirectly stated in the claim. Pwede natin gamitin yung mga terms na yan in our claim statement, in our statement. Okay? All right. Pero kasi alam naman natin ang ibig sabihin. Karagdagan lang naman to, no? Kapag must and should, or kapag must, mas mataas ang meaning ng must. Kapag must, talagang kailangan na natin. No? Unlike should, medyo hindi pa-gaano eh. Pero kapag must, ay, kailangan na talaga matapos. Or you must clean the house. Oy, galit na ang ating parents. You should clean the house. Medyo tiklo pa tayo eh. Pero if we will be able to hear, you must clean the house. Yun. Matakot na tayo. Anyway, just kidding. Yun, ha? All right. So number 5, in claim of policy, one can notice the possible solution because there is an existing blank. In claim of policy, one can notice the possible solution because there is an existing blank. What do you think is the answer for number 5? Is it should, result, intervention, comparison, discipline, problem, action, or love? What do you think is the answer for this? All right, it is indeed letter C. Ayan, intervention. In a claim of policy, one can notice the possible solution because there is an existing intervention. At mahalaga, magkaroon tayo ng intervention para makita natin at itama natin din yung ating mga kung may mga mali man tayo, maitatama natin. And because of that intervention, sige nga online, let's try to read the statement having the correct words or answers na this time. Okay, number 1, okay, kahit hindi ko nabanggitin yung number, gamitin na natin from statement to another statement as a 1 paragraph na lang. Okay, in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Claim of policy is also called claim of solution because it proposes result to solve the existing problem. Action is the main element of claim policy. The suggested action is based on the identified problem. Oath, must, and should can be directly or indirectly stated in the claim. In claim of policy, one can notice the possible solution because there is an existing intervention. Ulitin natin. Claim of policy is also called claim of solution because it proposes result to solve the existing problem. Action is the main element of claim of policy. The suggested action is based on the identified problem. Ought, must, and should can be directly and indirectly stated in the claim. In a claim of policy, one can notice the possible solution because there is an existing intervention. Thank you so much. Watching from Southville pa rin, Integrated National High School, si Mendigo. Jennifer, marami pong salamat. To Ma'am Alma, Kalibo from Lanao del Norte na nasa Baguio. Ngayon, pasalubong Ma'am Alma. Anyway, so additional activity we got here. Directions on a separate sheet. Write CP if the given statement is a claim of policy and NCP if not. Pasadahan lang natin, ano? So number 1, anti-text scam bill should be passed as law as protection to the people. It's CP or claim of policy. Euthanasia or yung mercy killing is also known as mercy killing is against the law of God. It's indeed NCP. Alam niyo ba yung euthanasia? Kapag aparato na lang yung bumubuhay sa isang tao, tapos kapag sinabi ng mga kamag-anak niya, kapamilya na, ay, ayaw na naming mahirapan pa ang aming kapamilya. So, tatanggalin nilang yung aparato para tuluyan ng mawala ang kanilang kapamilya. And that is what we call euthanasia or mercy killing. Number 3, we should not support nor euthanasia or mercy killing in the Philippines because it is still an act of killing. It's CP. For number 4, abortion should not be legalized in the Philippines because every child has its own life. It's CP as well. Claim of policy. Number 5, every child has the right to be born whether he or she is made out of love or anything. That's true. Or anything else. Doing abortion is doing a criminal act. Really, masama talaga ang abortion. Ano? Kaya kung meron mang ganyang instances, mahalin nyo na lang yung dinadala ninyong sanggol. Di ba? Okay, at huwag natin papatayin or what. Okay? Alright, it's NCP. Okay. Alright. Anyway, likdagan na lang natin itong ginawa ni Sir Jess. However, magagawa niyo pa rin naman yan next week with him. Okay? Alright, so kung meron kayong questions, feel free to message or to email Sir Jason.lechido@deped.gov.ph or pwede siyang i-message sa Jess Adonis Lechido sa kanyang Facebook account. Ako po muli si Tutor Jester, ang substitute teacher or substitute tutor ninyo kay Sir Jess sa subject na senior high school reading and writing. I hope you have learned something from Sir Jester, from Tutor Jester this afternoon. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. Next na po si Tutor Jimelin for Creative Nonfiction. Bye-bye!
Sigurado ako na marami ka na namang natutuhan sa ating ETUlay tutorial session ngayong araw. Tandaan, ito ay hindi lamang para sa ating mga mag-aaral, kundi pati rin sa ating mga minamahal na guro at mga magulang na kaagapay natin para maituloy ang pagkatuto sa kabila ng nararanasang pandemya. Patuloy ding sumubaybay sa DepEd TV para sa mga araling ginawang video episodes. Mapapanood ito mula Lunes hanggang Sabado, alas 7 ng umaga hanggang alas 7 ng gabi sa inyong mga telebisyon. Abangan bukas mula 1:00 ng tanghali ang iba pang aralin sa ating ETUlay free online tutorial session sa Filipino. I-like and subscribe at manatiling nakasubaybay sa ating ETUlay tutorial session sa DepEd Edtech Unit FB page at Educational Technology Unit channel sa YouTube at sa DepEd Tayo at DepEd Philippines social media accounts. Paalam!